Hey people, so welcome to the next episode of The Main Cup. I am one of your hosts, Jay, founder of Main Hookup, and I have my amazing co-host, Katanda, and today we are talking about celebrities making hair products because that seems to be a big thing happening for a long time. But over the past couple of years, we've seen some major product drops from Rihanna's line to Beyonce's line to many, many others.
Hi everyone, Katana James here, the co-host to Jade. I am the head education and community person here.
I feel like hair products, one part of the industry that it's full of so many options that people don't know what to choose from. In some ways, it's great that we have all of these options because who doesn't want options? You know, no one wants to be limited. But on the other hand, I feel like, how do you decide what to choose? And it's really interesting. I think people have very strong opinions about celebrities jumping into the hair space. I say jumping in, some of them have always been in it in some way, shape, or another. But it would be good to know what are your thoughts. I don't really have a strong opinion on this. It's more like if it's a good product, it's a good product regardless of who it comes from.
So I welcome anyone coming into the hair space, anyone that is coming into the hair space for all the right reasons. They're passionate about healthy hair, something that maybe they grew up around it or grew up with, making that bond, whomever was styling or combing their hair as small children, little girls. Some people are really into their hair. I think that the beauty industry, we all know, is one that's desired and admired by many, and it's a multi-billion industry. So sometimes I feel like people are just getting into the beauty industry for the wrong reasons. You can go through the worst recession and people are still going to buy beauty products because everyone, when you look good, you feel good. I think it was, maybe don't quote me on this because I'm not a historian, but I think the Great Depression, lipstick sales were like, they skyrocketed. And so everyone was buying all the lipsticks. We have, data and things that tell us the beauty industry, I don't know what we would have to go through to stop, purchasing these items. I know when I need retail therapy, sometimes it's not clothes that I'm going for, it's hair products or makeup products or things like that. So I welcome anyone into the space that has a true passion for it. But then when we get people that get into it just because they feel like it's easy or just because they think, hey, that person did it, those people are doing it, I think I could do it. We have celebrities that we all love, we all adore. We're standing for these celebrities. And so we're always excited about what they're bringing to market, whether it be barbecue sauce or or hair products. So we're always super exciting because, celebrities have influence and we all like to know like what they're doing, what they're wearing, what kind of barbecue sauce is their favorite. But when we have those celebrities, their hair is always like amazing. I think it just depends on individual. I know some people don't agree with or don't believe in celebrity driven beauty products, especially hair care products, I feel like. But I love it. There are some that I will try on my own for my own goods and purposes. But then there are some that I'm like, that's probably not for me, or I don't want to try that. And then luckily I get to try and test lots of things. This is what I do. So
Yeah,
it's a win-win for me.
But I think like you mentioned it, some people will feel like, people are creating a hair care range because it seems like the next natural step for them. But I also guess who are we as an audience to say what somebody should or shouldn't do? Somebody could have had something in their head or in their heart for a very long time and not acted on it. So I'm kind of like always trying to be conscious of that because when celebrities kind of step out of a box that people are used to seeing them in and everyone's like, no, why are you doing this new thing? But actually there are people with dreams and aspirations and they should feel like happy to pursue them. But when it comes to hair products, why would you try a hairline that's been run by a celebrity? For me, I think it would either be, they've got a background in, they've done hair at some point in their lives, or they've like shown a real interest in like hair and natural hair throughout their journey since you've kind of seen them on the scene. That's the kind of thing that would make me curious enough to try. It wouldn't make me feel like it's guaranteed that it will work. It would at least make me feel comfortable with parting with the money to buy the product. So what would be, like your reason for testing out a product that celebrities try?
One of the main things would probably be like the story surrounding this brand or this product line. It would also be the appearance of the celebrity's hair, because like I said, and typically Black women, we start as little girls. This is our bonding time with our elders or whomever is combing and styling our hair. We have a wash day set every Sunday or whatever your day was. And there were some, like my mom was super serious about the wash day. However, my mom was in beauty school. And she's
Right.
just always been that person, all about the hair and the fashion and makeup and all the things. Couldn't skip out the hair wash day schedule. Outside of the schedule, I may have, I don't know, went swimming or something in school. Like she's going to insert an impromptu wash day there. Because she's that serious about it. And then me, myself, like I've always been into hair. And so you have people that it's just in us or in them because this is how they grew up. This is how they were raised. This is, was a huge part of their life. And then you have some that weren't necessarily really into their hair. So the ones that have always been prior to their celebrity, they've always been into it. They've always been about it. Their mother, auntie, cousin, grandmother, whomever. It was a big part of their growing up and a big part of their lifestyle. I would be more apt to try those products.
Okay.
Versus someone that you look at their hair and they're like, oh, it's just hair. You're not really excited about it. You're not really intrigued by it. Just maybe sometimes it just looks mediocre or the health of their hair is not the best. If you ever get to see their natural hair at all, because a lot of times celebrities, they wear protective styles because they're constantly getting their hair done and it kind of helps. It does what it says it's going to do. It protects their natural hair from all of that.
Yeah.
However, you do have some celebrities that unfortunately their hair has become damaged through all the years of getting it styled time after time after time, day in and day out. And so now they lean into these protective styles, not necessarily as an elective, but because their own hair is damaged to a point where they feel like they don't feel comfortable wearing their natural hair out to be seen by the world. So I say that only because we have so many people creating these hair care lines. And I'm like, do we really need another hair care line? Like we have so many. I mean, like most customers haven't tried all of them that we have, but then everyone's coming out with them. So I'm going to take myself outside the box because I will try them. I will have to test them. People will send me them because I need to do better tests, like all this stuff. So I typically end up trying them, using them. Usually I use them on my own hair because I know my own hair, especially. I know what I like. I know what it needs. I know what it loves. So I end up testing them on my own hair too. However, I'm thinking the customers probably lean into whoever they're fangirling for. They're like, ooh, I gotta try that because she's amazing and that product is amazing. So I feel like it just depends on your personal like preferences and all of that. I just want all the girlies to win. So kudos to all the celebrities making the hair brand.
No, it's true, but I mean, just to name, these are just like a handful of the ones that I have heard of over the past few years. So there's Tia Mowry released a line, I think it was a couple of years ago now, or maybe a year or so ago. Obviously Beyonce released Sacred. Rihanna's released her line as well, Fenty Hair. Tracy Ellis Ross has Pattern. Issa Rae also has a hair care line. I believe that she co-invested in that line, so somebody had created it and then she'd come in as like co-founder. But obviously she's probably one of the most well-known celebrities for like rocking their natural hair. Who else is there? Lala Anthony has a line, Taraji P. Henson, Gabrielle Union, Kenya Moore. So there's like loads of these different celebrities that have all of these lines. If I were to pick, I'm going to pick like two from that very long list that I just shared. And actually for anybody who is like curious, we will add links to the various different brands in the newsletter version. So don't worry, you're not going to have to go and Google all of these. I'd love to try Issa Rae's brand. Like I said, I love that she used Insecure as an opportunity to like showcase natural hair in so many different ways. So I've loved that. I love the work that Felicia Leatherwood did with her hair in that program. So I'd be super curious to try Issa's brand. And actually, no, I'm going to say three because I'm torn between the last two. The last two is either Tracy Ellis Ross, because she's not just done hair care products but also hair tools, and I think that's something that not very many people do. So that she's now brought out like I think a blow dryer. I don't know if they've got a hair straightener as well or a curler, but I think they do. So it's not just products but tools. And people have gone mad over the blow dryer from what I've seen. Like lots of really, really positive reviews on that, especially the diffuser. And then the last I would try is Beyonce's line. I would try Sacred, just out of curiosity because she comes from a few generations of hairstylists in her family. So my thought would be, oh, how were they involved in like the formulation process? Like what did that look like and who has had influence over what? So those are the three that I would choose and why. What would you choose and what would you not choose and why, actually, if we're looking at that list?
Why do I have to tell what I would not choose?
Okay, how about I'll start with what I wouldn't choose and why, and then we can go to you. I think I wouldn't go for Gabrielle Union's line because I don't actually know much about it. I didn't know this. I think somebody mentioned it to me and I hadn't heard of it before, so I don't think I've seen huge amounts of noise made about it, whether it be from her or from other people that have tried it. So for me, it feels like that's a bit too quiet and I'm like, if there aren't those people kind of hyping it up, is it great? So that would just put a question mark over that one for me. But yeah, it could be good. I have no idea.
Okay. I would choose, if I had to choose, this is tough for me because it's a little tricky. I would, so the first one that I would lean toward, and this is just this side of it, is maybe not the customer or the consumer in me. This is more like the professional side of it.
Okay.
1000% when Tracy Ellis Ross was dropping Pattern Beauty, I was all for it. The main reason is because she's been rocking her curls since no one was rocking their curls. It probably was just her rocking her natural curls. She rocked her natural on Girlfriends. That was many, 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 many years ago. She had another co-star that actually wore her natural hair too, but it's totally different texture. So there's that. But I believe in it because this is like, it's not just a bandwagon she jumped on. This is her. This is her hair. She's always embraced it, whether or not she had moments where she didn't want to or not. She was all about the curly natural hair. So I know, just being a natural girl that has never had relaxed hair, it's been trial and error for me. It's been me trying this and trying that, this technique, that technique. I was the one that was flat my hair like crazy because I didn't really want to wear my curls. It wasn't that I didn't like them. I just didn't want curly hair. So for her to have embraced her curls, her hair, her natural when no one else was really doing it, says a lot about her and how she feels about herself, for one, but then also about just being different and being unique and rocking her curls regardless of what everyone else was doing. So that's a line that I would lean toward because she's always been this curly girl. So why wouldn't I try it? And her hair is always amazing. Doesn't matter the style that it's in. It's always amazing. She pushes the envelope a lot of times and she goes a little bold with her style, but it's never been too far. You know, we could totally relax out all of our texture. That's pretty much what we're doing with a flat iron when we're suppressing our hair. To just totally remove our texture. I feel like she always has styles that even if the texture is relaxed or altered in a way, you still know her hair is natural. So that's that particular one. It's the top one that I would try.
Okay.
The other one, and this is also probably the professional side of me, that some people may beg to differ. Maybe not now because seems like they have been tried and true, but it is Sacred because, like you said, multiple generations of hairstylists.
Yeah.
Beyonce grew up in her mom's salon. She's always been around hair. She, has been very strategic about her own stylist. She's been with the same, like the main one she's been with for many, many years, and she doesn't really bounce around. She may have multiple on her team that she calls at different points and times, but I've never really heard of her bouncing around from stylist to stylist. As long as she's been around, you never have seen her jumping over in this chair because now they're the new Instagram celebrity stylist. That hasn't been her, and I feel like it's because she grew up in that, and her mom is a cosmetologist, had her own salon and all of that. She knows the importance of sticking with a good stylist and staying there because when you're bouncing around, you don't always get the same treat. So knowing that, I also remember when she was the spokesperson for L'Oreal Paris and she was on a hair color box. So this is sort of like an inside thing that I don't think I'll get in trouble for saying, but spokesmodels go to like the technical center in New York, L'Oreal, that I used to work at. And this is where we color their hair and do their hair and all of that. Unfortunately, I wasn't working there where Beyonce was coming up in there, but but my bosses were, and they just have so many amazing stories about Beyonce and how she used to get her hair done. Her mom and her dad were very integral in like that whole process, even outside of the music. Now, this is another aspect of her career. They were very hands-on. She's very knowledgeable, of course, about her hair. And for the people that didn't know, Beyonce has been blonde for many, many, many years. Like her natural hair has been blonde. So when this whole Sacred thing dropped and everyone's like, oh, we want to see her natural hair. We want to see her natural hair. Her hair has been blonde. I'm not sure if it was blonde before then, but it's been blonde since the very early 2000s when she was on those boxes when my actual old boss colored her hair.
Oh.
So she's had her natural hair blonde. So it was just really amazing that I was like, people think this girl don't have hair? Like, why wouldn't she have hair?
You know what I think it is? I think it's because, like you said earlier, there are lots of celebrities that do have like different styles, or whether it be like weaves or wigs, and so you never actually know when you're seeing their hair or not. So I feel like people have been like, I don't know when I've seen Beyonce's hair, and that made them question it. But I love the video that she did with her stylist where they showed like this is him doing her natural hair, and it's like she's got waist length hair.
Yeah,
it's clearly really
the
well
girl,
done. Like
she has inches.
there's inches,
like
more than
as
inches.
As long as the wig, a lot of the wigs she wears. But yeah, so she's had her natural hair has been blonde forever, and it's been very healthy. And I think the reason why it never really got damaged because she knows hair, and she's been very boisterous now about how I know hair, and she's shown us her hair routine and all of that. So I definitely would try that one. Even if I hadn't tried it, I was still a believer. But I was just listening to all the chatter of everyone. But then when they got to the point where we need to see her natural hair, and I'm like, okay, well, when y'all see her natural hair, you're gonna get floored because she has long natural hair. So there's that. The other one would be Tia Mowry.
Okay.
I think it's Tia for You. Is the name of it. Yeah. Tia for You.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. For You. Again, we'll add links.
That's it. By You. It's For You by Tia.
Okay.
Tia For You by Tia is all the same. For You by Tia, because she and her sister to sister, they mainly wore their hair, especially the earlier sister to sisters. Their hair was super curly. That's around the time where I was wearing my hair straight, but I was really like, wow, they actually wear their curly hair. So it wasn't that, it was more like it was a light bulb that went off. Like, oh my gosh, these girls are wearing their curly hair. Both of them, usually twins, I guess, typically do some of the same things. But when it comes to curls, because we as a community, we're not embracing our curls. So she's been having these curls. She's been on numerous sets, TV shows, movies. She's had many people playing in her curls that probably over half of them probably didn't even know how to do the curls, and they probably had to step in and say, this is what we do, this is how we do it, or their mom did, or somebody did. And so she's a person that knows natural hair, but she's had it since forever, and they were rocking it, and obviously now they're switching it up between curly and straight styles. But they embraced their natural curls, and that was always something that eyeballs were fixated at, because I'm like, oh my god, another curly girl embracing the curls. Maybe I should. And then there's another Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore hair care it's still available. However, she's always had a head full of healthy, gorgeous hair. And so typically when you just have amazing hair, this means you're caring for your hair somehow, some way. Like it's inevitable. Like you can, a lot of times, hair thing is genetic, but you can have all the good genes and not care for your hair, and your hair can be trash. So she's another person that I'm like, she has been all her life taking care of her hair. Someone has showed her how to take care of her hair, how to keep keep it healthy and strong and flourishing. So she's another one. And
Okay.
I just never would imagine she would come up with a hairline, but I was like, yeah, I would actually try that. So.
Okay. No, I love that because I didn't know, like, until you mentioned it the other day, I didn't know that she had a hairline as well. It feels like some of these might be under the radar that people don't know
Yeah.
about, but like you say, they could be worth checking
Yeah.
out. But if there was one, I know that we've given three that we would both happily test out. And I think we both said pattern, we both said sacreds, and then I said Issa's line and you said Kenya's line. So
Yeah.
one difference there. But if there is a line that you wouldn't try, that you'd be put off of trying, which one would you not try and why?
Which one would I not try? So just to be transparent, I haven't tried all of them.
Yeah.
On my own accord. I have tested some of them, but it's not necessarily that I wouldn't try them. I feel like the only one, the story, the ingredient line just doesn't resonate with me and my hair concerns or hair issues with probably the Taraji P. Henson line. I wouldn't try that one. I've tested it, but I wouldn't like go in the store and say, hey, I'm going to try this new line. I feel like I probably wouldn't try. I don't know. That's like the one that jumps out at me. I'm willing to try everything, but if I had a choice of all of them to try, that one would probably be the last one. I guess I'll say it that way.
Okay, no, that's fair. And I think, like you say, it all depends on preference and what you think and what you feel about that celebrity and the way that they've obviously spoken about and managed their hair in public, right? It's all relative to your experience of that person that makes you curious.
I feel like with Taraji, she's, fashionable and sassy. She has had some great hair, but I don't feel like it's because she styled her own. Or I don't feel like it's because she grew up. I know she grew up, you and I talked about this already, but I know she grew up, styling and doing hair in college. But I feel like me looking at her as a celebrity, like if we didn't know any of that, if I didn't know any of that, I would attribute her great hair to her hairstylist. Not that, she probably takes really good care of her hair at home. I think that's the difference.
Okay, that's fair. And I mean, one of the big things is with all hair care lines, and you know this because you do this for a living. The products are all about formulation. That's how you end up having a product that works really well for people's hair, whether it be like certain textures or like how certain textures, certain types, it all comes down to the way the product is constructed. So a big question that a lot of people ask is how involved are these celebrities in that big part of it? Because obviously the marketing is one thing, you can put your face on it and that's it. And if you use your own hair product, of course people are gonna feel that they have more faith in it as well. But it's about what happens behind the scenes and who's helping to formulate that product to turn it into this great thing. And I think that's where sometimes people feel a bit conflicted. It's like, oh, I really want to support this person because I love their brand and I love like all of the things that I typically see them in. But how involved are they? How knowledgeable are they about the product itself to be a part of the team that creates it? So how involved do you think some of these celebrities might be in that part of the process? Because that's what what you do.
Yeah. And I do know that one that I wouldn't try, but we'll move on from there. It just dawned on me. The thing with the formulation process and the development and all of that and being like hands-on in that process, I probably would really, as far as the technical part of it, I would then lean absolutely more towards sacred because I know Beyonce's mom has been very integral in this development process and her actual hairstylist. Beyonce herself, I'm just being the boss that she is, the woman that she is always involved, very highly involved in everything that she's doing. So I think that process clearly really involved her. Whereas I feel like some of the other celebrities, even if they are involved, how deeply are you involved? How technical are you that you can actually point out and make redirects when the formula isn't working properly and be able to communicate to like, hey, the labs, this is what I wanted to do. Maybe you should try more of this ingredient here or there. And this is how we tested it. I don't think many celebrities are able to do that because they're not hair people. They're not hair stylists. They're not hair technicians. So they don't really know. But her being in that environment all her life, like when you're a little kid, you're a sponge. You absorb everything. So she's in the salon with her mom as a little girl. She's absorbing all of that and she's retaining it, and now she's putting it to work by developing these products and being very hands-on in that. I feel like part of marketing, I don't know if this would be a marketing thing, you would know more about this. Some of these celebrities, I feel like it's a licensing deal. They just put their name on it. they sold their name to this manufacturing, contract manufacturer that wanted to create this line, and they're like, hey, come and put your name on this. They may have gone to like a couple labs to check out just to see where it's being made. They like to tell those stories all on social media. Oh, we went to my labs and I met this person and we batched up, 10,000 units and all of that. Where really they're just selling their name. They're not really involved whatsoever. I'm not sure if this is the case in any of these that we have named. So don't y'all be going to say, oh, person on Main Cut said. I'm just saying this happens a lot. And not only with hair care, but with a lot of things. It happens with clothing lines. It happens with hair care lines. It happens with food lines sometimes, It happens a lot because they know that a celebrity name will sell. So if we put the celebrity's name on there, you guys don't have to do nothing. We already done everything. We've gone through the whole process. We just want you to taste it, try it. Let us know if it's good enough that we can put your name on it. You say yes, you get your cut, and we sell all these products. Because society now that we're so into like celebrity this and celebrity that, everything's a celebrity now. Like you could be a celebrity taxi driver. If you've driven a celebrity in your taxi, you can now add celebrity taxi driver to your title, and people are going to draw toward you because you are a celebrity taxi driver. That may be a little extreme, but you guys know where I'm going. Celebrity fitness people, celebrity everything. So the celebrity could just add their name to this. Now it's their brand. People don't know like the business part of it. So we're looking at, because it has their name on it, it's their brand, and we want to go out and we're going to buy all of it because we love that celebrity.
It's interesting because you can be passionate about something and back it. So I'm sure there's like lots of celebrities that love hair care, love hair products, may not, like you say, understand the whole formulation process, but they're like, oh, you know what, I really believe in this product. Yeah. I've used it, I really believe in it, and therefore I'm happy to have my name associated with it. And so that becomes, like you said, a bit of the brand partnership type deal where their face and their likeness is used in association with the product. And that's, even that is like a very different intention to what we mentioned at the very beginning, where it's like, oh, this is more of a opportunity because we know how much money is involved in the hair industry, especially the black hair industry. People very much underestimate the amount of money that's in here, the amount of money black women spend 4 times more on hair and beauty than women of any other race. I will try and find that study and drop that. There's loads of money here because hair is such a huge part of our culture. We spend so much of our time, so much of our money, so much of our energy unconsciously learning how to look after our hair and making sure that we nurture it properly. And so it naturally seems like an industry that a lot of people will gravitate towards. So there's like you said, there's a difference between the people that will be in the back for helping with the formulation because they have the knowledge, the people that are like, oh, I've used this product, I really believe in it, and I'm just happy to be the face. And then people who are like, oh, this is a good opportunity to make money because I know how much money is in there. And whilst all products at the end of the day, all businesses are there to make money, unless it's a charitable organization, it's there to make money, but behind that you want to make sure that you're helping people. And I guess when somebody that's super well known, their face is on it, you don't know which of those 3 categories they fall under. And I think sometimes that's where the conflict comes in when I hearing people talk about these different hairlines. It's like, I don't know, like, is this genuine? Is it a real interest? Is it a real passion? Or is it just like an opportunity to make money in the industry where so much money is spent?
Something that came to mind when you were speaking was, and a lot of people may not know this, but Layla Ali used to have a hair tools line. And she also had a relaxer. And so you look at Layla, you're like, she knows nothing about hair, makeup, any of that stuff. However, she was a nail technician. She used to actually work in a salon doing nails, and she's super savvy in hair. And so she actually is a person that you wouldn't expect to be just because we look at her, she's a boxer, she's an athlete. So we forget that pretty girl side of her, but she actually was really involved in the technical aspect and development of these hair tools and this relaxer. And she no longer has the hair tools or the relaxer, but the tools and the relaxer, they were really great products. So I think sometimes too, that's one of the things, like you're saying, passion projects. Sometimes you have a passion project and it's something that you are good at, or it's like a hidden talent, or it's something that's not out in the forefront. And a lot of celebrities are super talented, multifaceted and all of that. And so sometimes they could very well have this hidden talent that we don't know about somehow in beauty, hair, and all of that. Because Layla was one of them. Like, I never could imagine. And I wouldn't have probably ever known that without having worked with her. I would just think the same thing. Hey, they just, her name on here. Like, why is Layla making relaxer and hair tools? Well, because she's really like a girly girl like that. She's all into the hair, all into the nails. And she's just one of those people, like, if you work with her, she's looking at your nails. She don't want you coming with jacked up nails in her face or in her hair. She will sometimes come to the job with her hair prepped, and she's like, oh, and I'm like, well, you don't need anything. She's like, well, I didn't want to have you. She's that girl. Like, she knows how to do her hair. She knows how to do her makeup, and she's going to keep her nails done. So I feel like maybe some of these celebrities could possibly, like the brands that we name, maybe it is the case that we never knew these things, but like behind the scenes, they have these skill sets. I thought about that when you're talking, because I was like, maybe some of these people do have that and we don't know about it because we don't know everything about celebrities. As a celebrity, because you're already doing a lot, you have to focus on what your actual craft is. I feel like you're not frivolously just putting out products just for the sake of making money, because your name is on it. Your name has to remain great. So
yeah,
putting out trash products, it could affect like your name. Like, hey, I went over there and bought that, shampoo from Katanda and it was trash.
yeah.
Like, they can't afford that though.
No, that's true. That's a good point. It's all about, I mean, reputation is everything. Reputation is definitely the main currency that people live off of now. And so I don't think anybody wants to feel like, oh, their products aren't doing people justice. So again, something to think about. I feel like one of the big things that happens with celebrity hairlines, especially if they do have great hair, so if they are somebody who's like been a real inspiration in terms of hair, people may walk into buying the product thinking that it will be like some magic potion for their hair, because it's like, this celebrity has incredible hair. And whilst that might mean that they're a great person to formulate it, there are so many other things that helping your hair become healthy that are beyond the product. Like, if you have a great product range at home that you spent all this money on, but you're not drinking enough water, you're not getting enough sleep, you're like using, I say, protective styles that aren't actually that protective, you're not taking the actions and the steps to really carefully consider and look after your hair, no amount of any product is going to save that. It might reduce the damage possibly, or like slow down any damage, but I think it's really important for people to remember this is not just because it's been made by somebody that might have great hair or somebody whose hair you admire. Don't forget the fact that they have other things in their arsenal that's helping them to have great hair. Like, they may have a dietitian, they may have a chef at home.
I need a dietitian.
Yeah, they may have
I've been thinking about that lately.
But it's true, they may have like a cabinet full of all of these like vitamins and supplements that most people can't get their hands on. There are so many other things that contribute.
That's very true.
To having healthy hair. I just do think it's really important to consider that before you run out and buy it, because it's like, oh my gosh, I love this. Not just their character and their personality, but their hair as well, you know?
Well, the other thing too is you have to realize, and this is with any products, whether it be celebrity made or not, you're never going to use a product one time and a miracle happens and you're going to magically turn into Rapunzel. It just doesn't. It's not going to happen scientifically. It's not possible. That's basically a miracle. So until someone bottles up a miracle in a bottle, like, we're all going to have this issue. So that's the thing. And also keeping in mind that typically celebrities are constantly having their hair cared for, whether it's by their personal stylist or whether it's by, someone that they meet on set that just ends up being really amazing stylist. They're constantly having the best of the best, like you said, in the cabinets with the dietitian, but also with the person that's in their hair. Products a lot of time is more effective and efficacious when using it continuously. So we call it continual usage. That's sometimes when you see certain claims on products, you test it in a continual usage format. So with, products that are treatments, you might get some instant gratification. You might see that, it made my hair smoother, your hair feels softer, healthier. A lot of times, once you rinse that away from the hair, you're back to square one, because it's just like a mask for the hair. Like, it's just a cover, like a band band-aid for the hair for a certain time until you shampoo. However, when you're using it continuously and it's a continual usage sort of thing, then now you are actually strengthening your hair. It's like going to the gym to work out. Go to the gym one time and work out, nothing's happening. You'll probably be a little sore and that's it. But when you're consistently going to the gym, now you're able to see the progress, which is the same thing that happens with your hair and products. So I think people have to realize that too. And when you're on a constant schedule with your hairstylist, this is why us hairstylists say you need to come in regularly to have me care for your hair, because if you only come in once every month or once every 2 months, whatever you're doing out there to your hair, now you come in, you want me to magically fix it. We're not magicians. We can't magically fix it. Like, unfortunately, we can be more magical when we're makeup artists. When it comes to hair, we really can't. So it's just the science of it.
Yeah, and that's, I think, again, it's just about the decision-making process, right? You can't, a lot of what we've spoken about, like, we can speculate, but we don't know the exact answers. Like, we don't know how much effort and time these celebrities have put into like the formulation of the product itself. We don't know how knowledgeable they are. We can only make like educated guesses, but what we can all do is be mindful of the fact that the product that we're choosing isn't, like you said, some magic formula that's going to give us the hair goal that we want tomorrow, whether that's length, strength, volume, body, whatever the hair goal is. It's going to take time, and it's going to take time that requires more than just a product. My biggest thing is I don't drink water, and I actually like water. And I, like, my husband is always telling me, you should be drinking like 3 liters a day because you exercise more than most people as well. I know, but I will go through like a liter.
3 liters a day, like a gallon?
Oh yeah, I forgot I'm in the UK, so our metric system is different. Let me look that up.
I know liter. I have a liter here, and I think it is 3 because I used to pour 3 liters into a gallon. I think it's just short.
Yeah, I think it's just short. It's like 0.8 of a gallon. So almost,
so see, they're wanting you to drink a gallon. It's doable, especially when you're working out.
Yeah.
I struggle with it now because I haven't been working out as much, but you're consistently working out. It's easy peasy. Like before 10 a.m., if you work out early in the morning, your gallon is almost gone.
To be fair, it should be. And that's what I mean. It's like things like drinking, eating well, sleeping well. There are so many different parts of like
sleeping well is a big one that people forget. Because if you sleeping well, I think this should be another topic.
I think it's gonna have to be. Don't worry, people. We will
add this well, to the list. We should add that, because sidebar for you, that's when the cells are turning over. That's when your follicles are in action. But we could talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, the same with like your body and repair, right? So when you, like, say when you go to the gym, when does your body repair? When you're asleep. So you've done the exercise in the day, and then your body in the night is like, oh, okay, let me repair from all this stuff that you did yesterday, you know. And it's a similar process. So anybody who is listening, we will have another chat about all things related to like general health and how that affects your hair, because I think that's a big thing. And that's besides products are great, and I consider them like tools. Really, they add value, but the most you can add to yourself is just looking after your body.
Internal versus topical. Internal always works best.
Yeah, internal always wins.
Things. I mean, we could put things on top that help, like you said, but it's all about what we intake.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I mean, this has been really interesting talking about the different hairlines that celebrities have. If anybody who's been listening has any product ranges that we haven't mentioned, that you're like, oh, this was great, this celebrity's created this one, or oh, I'm not sure about this one, please, like, again, leave comments. I would love to know what people think of either the ranges that we've mentioned, if you have tried them, or other ranges that we may have missed, because I'm sure there's plenty more that we don't know of. So please mention that in the comments. We would love to hear more. And if you have any topics that you want us to run over and talk about, and you have questions about, then also let us know, because we're gonna be on this for a while. We'll run through as many topics as we can in a way that helps our community. The main aim of this is to start interesting conversations and help as much as we can.
Yeah, I agree. Share your experiences with these celebrity brands. Like she said, if you have any brands that we didn't mention, I am all for trying all the things in somehow, some way. So there could be some things that I haven't got my hands on. But it's also good to hear from you guys as listeners, because everything works different for everyone. Everything is not for everyone's hair. And so I just like to get like a range of, I guess, reviews, for lack of a better word, for different products and collections, just because it's helpful to me, like when I'm working with my clients, as far as like when I'm styling their hair or the coaching sessions that I'm doing, because we get in all into the budget and all into the different brands and things during those. And I just feel like I know how I want the client's hair to look, even in the salon. When I'm doing a silk press, I like airy, flowy, movable, touchable hair, like, you know, Victoria's Secret, you know, that kind of hair, Vanessa Williams back in the day hair, like just airy hair. Whereas some people may like products that weigh their hair down a bit because it helps them maintain control of their hair, or it helps them, you know, keep the frizz at bay, or it helps hold the style so they don't have to do things. So everyone has their own preference. So a lot of this is preference based, but then majority of it is science and then opinionated, because I know some people have said, oh, I don't want to try a celebrity brand. When I'm like, why not? You're trying all these other brands from other, you know, people. Why not try from celebrities? If you can make a formula, you should want to try it. But I think it's all about preference. I was really excited about this topic because, needless to say, we have a lot of Black celebrities that are creating so many amazing products and, you know, products out there on the market that we never had this before ever in history. So it really is really amazing to go to the store and see so many of these Black owned brands, these celebrity, you know, Black celebrity owned brands. It really makes me excited. So
Yeah,
I was happy about this topic.
I feel like there's gonna be more in the tool space, actually, because I think hair products they've been done and done very well, but I would say tools are something that's still kind of lagging in some areas. And if I do manage to find it, I will also add a link to, there was a review that I saw of, like I said, Tracee Ellis Ross's hair dryer with diffuser, and there are so many people saying, oh, this is like the best diffuser I've ever used.
Yeah, that basket shape.
Yeah, and it's things like that. That's what gets me excited, is when you see a tool, not just a hair product, but a tool that actually really adds value, and it's solving a problem that's been around forever. And it's like, oh, everybody's been making noise about this for so long, and now there's finally somebody that's fixed it. So I think that's actually the really exciting thing, whether they're celebrities or not, is people just solving problems in the Black hair space and creating products and tools that really help us to manage our hair better.
Yeah, so the tool space is really, because there's so much technology now, and the innovation is just, we're really almost living in the Jetsons age. Just the pattern blow dryer is absolutely amazing. I haven't yet tried the steamer, but that looks really cool. It's like really futuristic sort of, and the girlies are doing all the things with this. I've been watching all the tutorials. For me, it's like a huge device. So I mean, at home would be fine, but if I'm traveling it in my hair kit, I need more compact things.
Yeah.
But other than that, it looks really cool. The look of it, I think the ergonomics of it, the way it fits in your hand and how you maneuver it. So I think the tool space, the Tracee Ellis Ross and the brand leaders are very wise in creating these tools, because not everyone, to your point, is doing it yet. So we probably will see a lot more of that.
Yeah, and like I said, celebrity or not, innovation is innovation. So I think that should be celebrated in its own way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But again, like we've said, leave your comments, leave any links to any other like celebrity products that you're keen on or not so keen on, and tell us. It would be good to know why as well, guys. We don't want to just be just like trashing products.
No, do not trash the product. Do not trash any products, whether it's celebrity or not. We're not trashing products here.
No, it's like
there's a product for everyone.
Yeah, and if you don't like, it's fine to say you don't like using it, but just say why. Say why. That's what we're most curious about anyway.
Yeah.
But as always, thank you for listening. We hope this has been helpful. Please share it with somebody who would love to listen, who you know would also enjoy hearing it or could learn something from it. Let us know in the comments if there are any other topics you want us to cover. And Katanda, anything else, like one thing you want people to take away from this episode?
I don't think I have anything. I'm just going to say, if you find a product and you have any type of like adverse action or reaction, simply don't use that product. But don't bash the product, because it could just be that it doesn't work for you. You can leave a review, but we can do those in a nice way. I just don't like when we're bashing things, or just because it didn't work for you doesn't mean it won't work for the next person, or that next person have that same experience. I think just addressing things as your own personalized, individualized experience is the best way to go. And like I said, probably on another show, your next door neighbor's blow dryer may work amazing for her. It probably or may not work well for you, but it doesn't mean that the blow dryer is trash because it didn't work for you, because it's working great over here for her. So let's just keep that in mind. It's sort of like, well, that's a whole other thing, but it's sort of like medication. There are different medications that do the same thing. It may work for some people. Some people may be allergic to it, so they can't even use it anymore. So we just want to keep that in mind. It's sort of the same thing with hair products, because we have ingredients in hair products too that work with our systems and our microbiomes that may not work for others, and vice versa. So just keeping that in mind. It takes a lot, you guys, to create any type of formula, hair care, makeup, skincare. So just don't start bashing people, because they put a lot of time, effort, and work into it. And again, it may not necessarily work for you, but it may work for millions of others.
Yeah, no, that's really true. Well, I think that's a nice lesson to take from it as well. But as I said, people, thank you for listening again, and we will see you on the next episode.